10 minutes or less writing video tips. I'm Writer Locke, or Natalie Locke, it's a pen name. All my social media is down below, linked up. Feel free to click or not. This video is about setting your writing routine. There is 4 steps that I've narrowed it down to 4 steps. The first is set your goal, set your time, set your place, and find a method. So we got 3 sets and 1 find. Have fun with that scavenger hunt. The very first thing that you should do is realize when you are establishing a routine, it's gonna be fluid at first. It's not gonna be this is how it is and this is how it's gonna be. You don't wanna pin yourself against something, because then you're not gonna be creative. You're not gonna be doing the awesome things that you know you can do, that you've been thinking about for the past days, months, years. So the first thing is setting your goal. I recommend setting 3 goals. What I call your reality goal, your awesome goal, and your dream goal. Your goals can be in time, word count, or in a number of pages that you want to accomplish each time you sit down. The reality goal is what you think bare minimum you could get done. So for me, I thought I could do 3,500 words a week, which is about 500 words a day. The awesome goal was 7,000 words a week, 1,000 words a day. And then the dream goal for me, because I have a full-time job, was 15,000 words a week, 2,143 words a day. I met my dream goal, the weekly one, pretty good, I think, once for the weekly one. I met the daily dream goal about 3 times over the span of 5 weeks that it took to write my novel, which is like 69,000 words. And then but for the most part, it was the awesome weekly goal of 7,000 that I was able to reach. And that's including skipping a few days and even writing under my reality goal of 500 words a day. But having that flexibility, it allows you that when life happens, you're not reaching the dream goal, but you're still reaching the reality goal if you have those 3 goals set up. And it does wonders for your mental health and your own personal well-being if you're able to break it up and not be as stringent on yourself to reach a dream goal when maybe it's a more reality day, as I like to call it. The next thing you want to do once you set your goal is set a time. Maybe you're an early bird, maybe you're a night owl, or maybe you're like myself where you're neither. The main point through this is to make sure that when you're scheduling your time, you don't forget to take care of yourself. Writing is very mentally taxing, so you want to make sure that you're not choosing to spend all your free time writing and no time with friends, family, or significant other, what have you. For me, I thought I was doing the right thing by dragging my laptop around the house and typing away when I was with the family, but I was constantly interrupted when I was in the middle of writing a paragraph, or my husband had to repeat himself, or my kids had to repeat themselves because I wasn't paying attention. So I learned that I needed to set a time, 1 to 2 hours. Usually my son's nap time's perfect time, 2 hours, and that drives me to, I only have 2 hours, let's make it use of it to the best we can. Yeah, a tracker will help you with that time. If you use your tracker and where you're keeping track of your times that you're writing, and then you go, oh wow, in the evening right after dinner, I'm able to write tons more than in the mornings before everyone else wakes up. You know, and by that you're able to shift what you need to your setting your time, and then that can become your daily set time and set in stone. Hopefully, we'll see. The next point is to set a space. So don't be like me and drag your laptop around if that doesn't work for you. Try it, see if it does. Dragging your laptop around or your cell phone. Maybe you're at the doctor's office with a mask on at this point, waiting for your appointment. Go ahead and knock out a few paragraphs or a scene or something. Downside is that the doctor could call you back and you gotta stop what you're doing immediately. If you find that being that nomad writer, as I like to call it, doesn't work for you, make sure you set your space. And when I say set your space, I mean set the environment. Do you need water? Do you need coffee? Do you need tea there with you? Do you need snacks? Something, you want to make sure that you're not going to interrupt yourself, like, oh, I'm hungry, or neglect yourself of, oh, I'm hungry, well, I'll just eat later. Do you need to put your phone like on silent and away from you so you're not distracted by social media? Do you need to turn the Wi-Fi off on your computer so you don't go onto YouTube? How's the lighting? Do you need a notepad in front of you for notes, or for because something reminds you and you're like, hey, I should probably look that up? Any of those will work. And the last point is to find your writing method. If you don't know your writing method and you don't even know what to write about, I have a video below of how to start writing and actually start writing. But your writing method, there's like 5 or so methods out there. I would write in the evenings, but I had been thinking about what I was going to write all day, and I may have done some researching during that time, so that once I started writing, I just had so much information and I couldn't even type fast enough. That's what worked best for me, being kind of an evening writer. Whereas other methods are, and these are not specific to evening or morning or anything, is word sprints. Word sprints, I've used myself. They work great, especially when you feel like you've hit a wall and you're like, I don't know what else is going to happen. Just do a word sprint and like kind of push through that wall. And even if I think at one point I just made something up that was really stupid, like, and defied the rules of my world of like, she floated. Well, that evolved into an actual great storyline of what was going to happen in the scene, even though initially in a word sprint I put she floated across the room. You can do word sprints for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 25. I'm a under 30 minutes or less type of person, obviously, because my videos are 10 minutes or less. The next technique is the Pomodoro technique. We're talking 25 minutes of work, whether that's on your novel, on a poem, on outlining, character development, any of that, on your editing YouTube, and then 5 minutes break. Then for every 4 25-minute blocks, you do a 30-minute break. That's really good for people who end up neglecting themselves when they're writing. That kind of forces them to take care of themselves. The last two here is a stream of consciousness. This is usually for my early morning writers. You don't even have to specify what you're writing about. You just type, write physically, whatever. You just get it on paper, and then you can go back and dissect it once you've fully had that cup of coffee. Because usually stream of consciousness is for people in the morning when they're not quite awake and they can kind of like sneak out some good ideas while they're writing without realizing it. And the last one I got for you is a writing prompt. This is really good. You can find multiple writing prompts on Google. Just type in writing prompt ideas. This is a good warm-up. Even though you won't be working on your specific project, it might help rejuvenate ideas for your project. And the last most important thing when you are establishing a routine is that once you have an idea and you're writing and you're getting a routine, find an accountability buddy. Tell somebody what you're doing, because as human beings, nothing's worse than going back to someone and saying, hey, I was going to write a book, and then they come back and go, how's that book? And you're going, yeah, it didn't happen. That push and that fear of telling someone you didn't do something, that is a good push to try to make sure that you get it done. And just be flexible, find out what works for you and do it. And if it matches what no one else is doing, that's okay. And we're at 10 minutes. Bye.